Welcome back, friends. It's been a big week for the newbies here in Namibia. Hot and dusty after leaving the ghost town last week, we drove further into the desert and deep into the sand dunes. And not just any old sand dunes, these are some of the tallest and biggest in the world. Huge rust-red monuments of the desert that welcome us in to climb them. But all is not as it seems this week, as we need to make a hasty exit and we get literally stuck in the desert.
We are the Newbys, a family of travel adventurers on a mission to make our minutes and seconds matter. I'm Tara, born and raised in Africa and obsessed with wild things and wild places. This is John. He's lived a life on the road and has visited 163 countries. And this is our son Crusoe, who has ambitions to get to 100 countries before he goes to school. He's going to need our help with that, so hit that subscribe button and join us every Sunday as we discover our extraordinary world as a family, teaching us all to be brave, think big, and to explore.
Hey Crusoe, do you want to go and climb the world's highest sand dune today?
We're in a big rush this morning. We want to try and get on to this dune and off it again before it gets sweltering. We are already a little bit late because Crusoe, like is always the way, slept later today than he normally does.
Yeah, he woke up super stoked though.
So excited.
I think as long as we're there at sort of a time when it's a bit quieter and there aren't too many people, that'd be great. A lot of the cars have already left this morning, so we're a bit behind them. So hopefully we'll hit that sweet spot between not too many people and not too hot.
Fingers crossed.
Okey-dokey. Let's blow this joint, shall we? Hey, that's on.
All right, the park gate is right next to where our camp was last night. I think we're gonna have to pay to get in here, and it says no plastic bags allowed. Very well, how are you?
All right, where you go?
That way to Sossusvlei camp. So we pay for our tickets on the right side, I think.
Yeah, in this little office.
Back shortly. Crusoe, do you want to come and buy some tickets?
Morning!
Okay, we're on a party. So the park rangers are not ready yet with that early.
Even though we're car number 28.
Although we're car number 28. So we're going to drive down an asphalt road, which is heaven compared to yesterday. And then we're going to go and have a look at Sossusvlei, a canyon, and a Big Daddy sand dune. You're going to like that one.
Big Mama.
Big Mama, and we've got to pay when we come back out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let's go.
Are you driving, Crusoe? Yeah. Okay. You drive.
Wow, that is a beautiful way to start the morning.
Isn't it just? Look at how wonderfully elegant those animals look.
These are definitely the most relaxed oryx we've seen.
Yeah,
The
mostly
rest of them have been very skittish.
they have, yeah.
That was special, wasn't it?
Great way to start the day. So last week when we were in the ghost town, we were looking at different coloured sand, wasn't it? It was kind of yellowish, not red,
Yeah.
not the deep red that this one was. And we were talking about how the desert just reclaims everything. Can you imagine that ghost town somewhere here and how quickly it would just be devoured entirely by the sand? Very cool. So I have travelled through a lot of deserts and spent a lot of time in the deserts. From the Sahara to the Atacama and of course the Namib desert and others. One common theme being in the desert is sand, of course, and where that sand gets to. At the moment, all three of us have got snotty noses and a little bit bunged up and sore throats, and it's basically the sand. We've been in the desert now for well over a week. Of course, last week we were in the ghost town over near Luderitz, and that was really windy and the sand was blowing everywhere. It's difficult to escape. It's in absolutely everything. So we are looking forward to next week getting out of here and going up to Windhoek, and then further north up to Etosha to see some animals and some greenery and a little bit less sand, so that we can clear our noses out.
So, having driven 60 kilometres from the main gate, we are just approaching the car park before you head into what they call Sossusvlei. From here, it's a further 5 kilometres through sand to get to the dunes. Now we have two options. We either let our tyres down, engage 4x4 and tackle the sand ourselves, or there is a shuttle that will take us those last 5 kilometres. We're going to check out and see if there's a shuttle ready to go, because if there is, we'll just hop on that. It's much easier. If not, then we will attempt it ourselves. Okay, so we just arrived. A lovely chap came and said hello, said, "Are you ready for the shuttle?" We said, "Oh my God, he's like, you ready our minds." Yes, we are ready for the shuttle. However, it cost us 20 quid to do that shuttle, so we ain't doing it. We're going to tempt the sand ourselves.
Yeah, we are. It's going to be a bit of an adventure.
Cheapskates. You having fun, love?
Yeah, it's great. I don't quite know which way we're going. We are seriously driving through just sand right now. You can really feel it. We've gone into 4x4, which is cool, and we are keeping up a certain level of speed, just so that we've got some momentum when we go into those tricky bits. But so far, so good.
We did already pass one casualty. Someone got stuck.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, no good.
It doesn't look like anyone rescued you that quickly.
Yeah, that's
it's just sat there waiting. Check the concentration on its face.
Dude, it's pretty uncomfortable, man. You can really feel the car getting bogged down by the sand. Here we go. This bit's going to be tricky. Straight through as quickly as possible, eh?
Yeah, follow the tracks. Keep going. It's definitely a more fun way to arrive, doing it yourself. Slightly nerve-wracking, but kind of cool. Yay! I don't know that very many other people have attempted this morning.
Made it. That was fun. Looks like a few other people made it too. So what's a little bit nerve-wracking for some is probably great fun for a bunch of others, but yeah, it'll be fun getting back.
Well done you, my love.
Aren't you driving back?
No. So we have come down to the biggest sand dune, which is called Big Daddy. Now, it's a big sand dune. It's a tough climb. And before you even start climbing the sand dune, there's about, I don't know, a kilometre of sand to walk through. I've tried to climb the sand dune before and got halfway up and was so terrified by the heights and the slipping sand beneath my feet that I had to come down. I couldn't make it. So we'll try again, and John's going to carry Crusoe. I mean, you know me in these situations. I'm quite happy looking at it from here. But anyway, should we go give it a go, little man?
All right, so there's 3 ways into where we want to get to. The first one is to go up to the top of that one, which is the Big Daddy. That's a really long climb. And then the second way is to go up that sand dune there. And then the third way just goes sort of around the side and in. So we got to pick one of those 3 ways in.
Around the side and in.
Ah. Yeah. So what's the plan, darling?
I'm not sure, love. I'm not sure. You're going to have to call it, not me. It's kind of like decision time.
We're at the bottom of Big Daddy, deciding which way to go and how to get there. What gets me is the slipping. I hate the feeling of slipping under my feet. And when you're on sand, like on a knife edge on a massive sand dune, you just slip. So I'm nervous because when you get that frightened, you kind of freeze and you can't move. I don't really want to get like that again. It's also baking hot and the sun is burning down, so in my mind is kind of like preoccupied with Crusoe and making sure everybody's got enough sun cream on and enough water and everybody's happy and safe.
How are you feeling?
Okay. If you follow other people's footsteps, it's not so bad. There's no new slipping occurring. Nah. Crusoe's delighted, and I think it must be because he's been carried up the world's biggest sand dune.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel him.
Whether we make it to the very, very top, I don't know, which is right there. Tara's starting to panic. She's doing all right though. What do you think then, darling? There's Big Daddy right in front of you.
Yeah.
In order to get to the very top of that, we're going to have to go back down again.
Yeah.
To go back up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm okay to give it a go.
Oh, one thing really easy to forget when you're climbing up the side of this dune is to look around and enjoy the view. Not just Deadvlei, which is down there, but everything else. Magnificent. There we go. There's Deadvlei. It's not looking so dead at the moment. Some of those trees have got green on them.
So they have.
Never seen that before.
No.
Okay, change your plan.
It is getting really hot, and both of us feel that perhaps for Crusoe, it's just not the right thing for us to be trying to climb that sand dune.
Yeah, really.
And despite me being nervous, I am actually now a tiny bit gutted.
Yeah, it's not that he would get sunburned because we got him well covered up and he's got bucket loads of sun lotion on, and we've got lots of water with us as well. But in the last 2 minutes, we've just lost Crusoe's hat. He's gone and lobbed it, and it is literally nowhere to be seen. It's been buried already in the sand. You find it?
No. I mean, it could be anywhere between here and there and...
Crusoe's delighted because he hates wearing it. I think we call it, and we got a little bit of sun cover for Crusoe for the time being. The good thing is that the hat was made from cotton. Maybe it'll be seen by some archaeologists in a couple of 1,000 years' time. All right, Crusoe, for this bit, you can have your hood down so you can see where you're going, because it's going to be a bit of fun. Are you ready?
Any tips, Steph?
Yeah, run and don't fall face forward.
Okay.
It'll hurt.
Okay, boys.
How's Crusoe looking? You got to put your hood back up.
Yeah. That sliding down the dune 100% makes the climb worthwhile. It's so much fun. Imagine doing it on top of Big Daddy. I think it's a drop of about 300 meters. Is that right, though?
No, it's about 300 meters, yeah.
Mega. One day I will climb Big Daddy. Let it be said here.
Wow. So aren't we lucky? Look at where we are. Okay, so Tara is running around and doing all the filming right now, and me and Crusoe, we found pretty much the only shade down here to hide behind while we wait for Tara to come back and get us, and he's just fallen asleep.
It is so hot down here. So this is what they call Deadvlei, which is basically a petrified forest in the middle of the dunes. The clay is caked solid. It's almost been solidified to rock, and these trees will stand like this for hundreds and hundreds of years. What I think is incredibly special about this place is just how beautiful it is with the colours. You've got the red of the dunes, the blue of the sky, and the stark silhouettes of these trees against it all. It really is not hard to see why this is one of the most photographed places in Namibia.
Deadvlei is a remarkable place. A place too dry for the trees to even decompose. Scorched in the sun, they stand almost as monuments to their own destruction. Now over 1,000 years old, they form a barren forest, which contrasted against the rusted sand dunes, makes for a pretty awe-inspiring sight.
Something that's been a running theme for our last 2 weeks of exploring the Namibian deserts is this feeling of impermanence of us and permanence of the desert, and how harsh this environment is, and how it just keeps taking stuff back. Whether it be a town, a population of wild horses, or a little boy's hut. Beneath that tree, John and Crusoe have taken refuge from the heat before we beat a hasty retreat back to the car to get the backup hat for the rest of today's adventures.
Shh. Well, Crusoe has had a really lovely sleep while you've been wandering around there.
Good, it's nice and cool in the shade actually.
It is cool, and there's a nice breeze coming across. It's about 20 minutes back to the car walking, so we'll walk nice and brisk and get there as quickly as possible. All right, before we go back though, I'm just gonna get rid of some sand from my shoes. Remember doing this in Jordan?
I do, yeah. I think you're doing it prematurely.
Prematurely? My foot doesn't fit in my shoes anymore.
That's amazing. I love it.
I can't bend down there. Can you do my shoelace up, please?
Tables have turned, isn't it? I feel like it's when I was pregnant. Double knot, single knot? How do you like your laces, sir?
That's fine. We've now got the adventure of driving back through that sand to get back to the main road. I think Tara should drive.
Nope.
What do you think?
I've had my fill of slipping for the day, thank you. Here comes blasting, baby's awake.
No water required.
Doesn't want water. Right, boys. Oh, my love, this feels like proper dune batting. We were starting to flounder just a little bit, hey love?
We were.
We've been rescued by a fella called Clement from Wilderness Safaris. Thanks, chaps.
That was fun. I think we've got a diff lock on now.
Clement's coming to
So
make
Clemens
sure
is
we know
coming
what we're
to
doing.
help.
Thank goodness.
I didn't have any momentum going into that sand there.
No.
That was a bit silly. So, because when we came in, you remember I said, well, you just got to go fast, otherwise
Yeah.
you get stuck.
Yeah.
And I went into that way too slowly.
Yeah.
And then when you're stuck, of course, I haven't got a clue how to get out if we get stuck.
We do have these funny like rubber ladders in the back.
Yeah, well, that's it. That would have been okay, but that was way easier how we got out just there.
Thanks,
So,
Clement from Wilderness Safaris.
Wilderness Safaris, dude. That's it. We made it out, and we only got stuck once. Brilliant.
Well done, you, my love. That got a bit tense for a second there, didn't
did get a bit tense.
Ooh, okay, we're back and under
We are
control.
Only just under control. That was pretty gnarly driving, but all part of the big adventure.
If you know us, you know we love a change of plan.
We do love a change of plan. As we were driving back along that road back to the campsite, we were looking at the temperature gauge on the dashboard here, and it was coming out 37 degrees centigrade. It was only 11 o'clock in the morning.
There isn't really anything else to do in that area apart from see the sand dunes, which we did this morning, and you want to do that as early as possible to avoid the heat. So what then was ahead of us was an afternoon sat in the hot shelter of our campsite, trying to keep our little man cool and happy and entertained on a slab of concrete. So we decided we ain't doing that, because the first rule of the newbie house is if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it.
I mean, if I was on my own, or if it was just Tara and I, like the olden days, and we'd have probably just sat there with a couple of beers and a bottle of wine, listened to some music, had a good old chit chat. It would have been all great, wouldn't it? But of course we've got Crusoe, so we've got to think about him, and it is jolly hot for him. So we've decided we're going to spend the next 4 hours, the hottest part of the day, inside the truck where there's air conditioning. Smart, right?
Smart. And make our way to our next stop, which is the capital city of Namibia, the city of Windhoek.
Windhoek. And we've got some points left over from the olden days as well for a Hilton, so we're going to stay at the Hilton Hotel in Windhoek tonight.
Just for tonight.
Just for tonight. A little bit of a treat. Wash off all this desert sand, have a pint, and fall back into one of those lovely, cosy, white linen, big king-size beds.
And so on to Windhoek we went, a journey of about 4 hours along dusty gravel roads and up a mountain pass that gave John a chance to once again put the car through its paces.
Or I might have to engage four-wheel drive in a minute. How steep that is.
It's so steep. You can hear the engine burning away to get us up there. And finally, we have been taken our sights. It appears we're coming in the tradesman's inn.
Almost certainly. Does everybody still have their teeth
No, and Crusoe only had 6.
to start off with?
Well, after weeks on the road and living in our rooftop tent, being in a hotel room is a proper treat. Even if it's just so that Crusoe can roll around on the bed and we can all have a nice hot shower and even a bath. What do you reckon, love?
I reckon that's a very, very good idea.
Next week we're heading into Damaraland and we are super excited to go in search of desert-adapted elephants. We'd love to take you with us, so please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up if you've enjoyed our video and leave us a comment. It always makes us smile to hear from you. See you next week, friends!